Hey folks, welcome back to another PoMa video. So now we're actually going to try and attempt to do the actual strong part of Sygna, Misty and Vaporeon's kit, which is the Sync Nuke. It is the much more powerful part of her kit. However, it is the much more less interesting part of her kit because the Haze and Mist stuff is just more interesting because we have like a billion water nukers already in this game. Although hers is really good. Hers is also impossible to fully set up as well. For a few reasons. We'll go into them. So to set up her nuke to the highest potential that we can with our Vaporeon, right? There's a few things. First of all, she does have this mermaid duo hydro pump. This the innate nuke over here is when the opponents have none of their stats raised, which is not hard to do with Haze over here, right? Yeah, and then there's also Inner Grid, the Sync Power Flux, which is basically a Haymaker inertia, but for like move gauges, right? So if it max gauges, that's another Haymaker-ish multiplier, right? 2 times. Assuming that's the info is correct. That's what the damage calc website guy told me, right? So also there's blind spot over here, which is if you max out evasion, which is again one of the hardest stats to buff in the game. If you max out evasion, you'll have another 2 times sync move multiplier over here. I also picked up bob and weave, which is not for sync, but it's just there for fun. Just water gun, bob and weave water gun. Also the 2 sync move multipliers, and I picked up every single special attack stat on her grid. So there's that as well, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So the big issue with her is, first of all, you can buff evasions. It's not realistic to buff her evasion for herself, right? 50% chance of getting it every hit. That's not happening on average. That's 12 turns, and we don't got 12 turns, right? So we're gonna bring someone to buff her evasion. She with the nuke grid, she can't pick up any special attack buffs, which by the way you don't want to pick up them anyways because they suck. They're really bad special attack buffing nodes. So we're gonna have someone to buff special attack. So we need someone to max evasion, we need someone to max special attack. She can't max crit, needs someone to max crit. Need someone to bring rain, right? And also we need Snorlax for super effective up, and then someone to debuff special defense. So yeah, not something that we could realistically do in single player, which is why we are in co-op when we have 9 units to use instead of 3, right? So let me invite folks in first. All right, here we go. Truth be told, this is I think our 7th time recording this because it's very hard to get, very hard to get perfect, right? A lot of times like there's just, oh my goodness. And here we go. We have a connection issue. Fantastic. It's gonna be what, it's 7th, 8th time now. I don't even know. Alright, let's try this again. Cause it's so hard because you have to make sure everything is perfect. You have to make sure we have enough sync move countdown. We have to make sure rain doesn't run out. We have to make sure we wipe the stats right before we get the nuke in, right? We have to make sure we don't again have issues with sync move countdown, so we don't screw up the super effective up and the Lily's full power stuff, right? It's just it's not very fun. All right, there we go. Got MP refresh. That's very good. That means we're definitely able to max out our stuff here, which is good. Which is good. All right. Let's get the God, let's shift to striker procs too. Let's get the mist in just to pass turns. So we get our sync in, right? Okay, there's mist. Again, I'm not gonna haze until like the very last moment here. The great thing about this charging thing, which is great in this specific case, is so that like if we didn't have this like status charge thing, right, there would be a bit of an issue because we do have that thing where we need max gauges for the whole thing to function, right? We need the max move gauges. However, Haze costs 2 gauges. If we didn't have the extra gauge back, what would happen would be that the opponent, or not the opponent, in between me using my haste, which costs 2 gauges, and me sinking, there's a certain amount of turns, or a certain amount of time that passes, and in between that, the opponent could potentially, right? The opponent could potentially buff their stats, and then I'll have to haze again. But thankfully, since we do have the critical, whatever the heck it's called, thing, right? We don't have to worry about that, which is very, very good. So we have max gauges over here, right? Okay, here we go, here we go. Finally! Finally. Sorry, I think our 6th, 7th try. It took this straight up an hour. This is an hour of trying to get this recorded. Because the really annoying thing about Flying over here is after the sync, uses dire hit all, so it buffs its crit. And the thing is, I can't debuff. It was worth it. It was worth it. 100% worth it. Okay, that was totally worth it. We're good. All right, let's get a super effective up water gun, full bob and weave water gun in here. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh. Okay. All right. We'll see the water gun. We'll do it in single player. We'll try this out again in single player, with a more, I guess, realistic comp, I guess. Oh my lord. Oh my goodness. We got crit. Oh my. Fantastic, just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay. Well, at least we got it in. It was what, almost 70k on Nuke, and mine isn't even like 6REX, right? So again, like I mentioned before, it is a pretty powerful Nuke. It's very hard to fully set up. Very hard to fully set up. But it's possible, right? If you want to completely fully set up, you have to do it in co-op to make it possible, or else in single player it's literally impossible, right? You could do it without obviously the special defense debuffs and super effective up. However, it's gonna take you very long because you need to get the evasion buffs from yourself, which is again very not easy to get. So yeah, let's try this out in single player, and see how it goes. All right, so now let's try it in single player, right? Again, gonna be hard to set up, right? I actually had to modify the grid. I had to drop some of the damage stuff. I still got Bob and Weege because I really want to see the Bobby water gun damage, but yeah, I had to drop some special attack power up nodes just so we could pick up Shifty Striker 4. So we have an extra roll at getting evasion buffs every time we use water gun, right? Because again, the big issue here is just to get is trying to get the evasion buffs here, right? Which is going to be very hard. There's almost no chance. I wouldn't say no chance, but there's a very slim chance that we could get max evasion buffs on our first sync cycle. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're gonna run it with Kyogre for rain, and then Sabrina for the special attack and crit buffs, right? And let's see how this goes. All right. So, start off. Let's start water gunning. All right. Oh, also the other thing, I had to drop the move gauge down, ally move gauge down, because the sync power flux. Oh my god. We didn't get any evasion procs. The sync power flux thing makes it so that we need to, as many gauges as possible for the most, buffs here, right? They dodged the water gun. Oh my goodness. Oh, we still got evasion. Alright. Hopefully don't get poisoned by the poison jab. They do have some stat buffs there. Alright, we're at +3. Alright, we got +3 at our first sync. That's actually not terrible. Alright, let's go Haze here. After the 6th Sense. Alright, they didn't buff here. Slightly where they buffed, and we had to spend an extra turn. Alright, Haze here. And we'll go for the sync. okay, that's fine. Should be max gauge sync here. With the, oh, this is the time that we, you know, synced. With the extra +3 evasion that we got, right? And not bad. Again, her damage is not bad. Definitely not bad. Right? The amount of damage that she could output with these. It's just the setup is, okay, never mind. It does nothing. It's an ungodly amount of setup. Ungodly amount of RNG mostly, right? In terms of getting Shifty Striker. Because again, there's a chance you could max it out in one sync cycle. It's just very, very, very low, that chance, right? But yeah. If you need yet another water nuker, she could do it. She could definitely do it. But yeah, outside of that, right. So, anyways, that's me with this one. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me guys think in the comments down below. Like this video for our channel for some more PoMa content, and I'll see you guys in the next one then.